Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube audience, Twitch, wherever you end up finding this video, it is time for another dissertation. And you believe you're here. It is happening. Look at the world. Oh my god, this is gonna be the thing. Ah, I feel like it's been a while since we've sat down together. All right, damn, I hit the desk once. This shit mad wobbly. It's because it's on a carpet. I feel like it's been a while since I've just talked to you, serenaded you, made you feel like you were loved, touched, and attentive. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a little bit of physical contact, beautiful wooing of the voice of credibility, stick around. It's about to get hot and heavy in here. All right, now everybody who's watching the video has been attracted to it. That's my hook. This list has existed for a long. I another motherfucker with the keyboard shit. I know y'all like this keyboard. I hate y'all. Where the heck is your anime wall? And you call yourself a streamer? I got the. We got the. Hold on. This is a segment about Tim Pool, but hold on. We got the Ash. We got the Smash Bros. We got the Sukuna. And I need to put the batteries in it. We got the Sukuna. We got the. Hold on. Don't play me on that. Don't do that. We got the Yuji, the Dory. Oh, don't do that. Don't come at me. Don't come at. I'll flame your shit. I had an AOT one up here too. Oh, I should have put that up because the season just came out. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you ain't peeped the new episode of Demon Slayer, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That shit been up there since the beginning of like Paradigm. Don't do that. I'm kidding. I will have to add more to this. I just always like the idea. You guys are also very new, and my camera angle was different a long time ago. These are all Bath and Body Works products. I used to love just having this little thing here, but you know what? You're right. I got it. Matter of fact, hold up. Hold. I'm about to tell you. Hold my nuts. What's that? What's that? What's that over there? What's that over there? What's that? What's that? What? Sir, you are bugging. Quick question. Do you know anything about the quartering? One of my good friends watch him. Oh man. Okay, this is a YouTube segment, so because they can read the chat as well when they watch it on YouTube. Um, what we know about the quartering is that another dissertation we have to do. I have things on the quartering. The quartering's a bunch of shit. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. It's like that's a rabbit hole. And literally look at the people replying. Like it's a don't do that. The quartering is definite misinformation, and it's been a meme in this community for a long period of time. Um, Through what we're about to talk about, that might come up. So thank you for even mentioning it. But at some point, I'll throw in a quartering segment. I've stayed away from the quartering for a long time. Maybe it's time to make that run in. Anyway, this list has existed for a very long time. Let's, yeah, of course, I got you. Oh yeah, we'll add it to the list. You see what we got going on here? Let's finally get to this list because it's been a long time. Been made in 2021. Why the hell haven't we started punching it down? Section 3. Tim Pool is a tool. Now, now, before we hop into this dissertation is going to exist on just Twitter. People have liked these dissertations, but they ask me, why do I stick to Twitter instead of like spending time looking at their content, spending time looking at like the articles they may post, like subscribing to their channels and doing that? One, DMCA claims. We're staying away from that. And this is the easiest place to be able to make content about these things and discuss them in a way that is both fruitful and also things that you can see yourself. Some people might not want to spend time on YouTube. Yes, he did. He just got swatted, and we're going to talk about that. this isn't to knock him on that. That's a real world thing. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't care if you're, and I'm being like almost honest, but like I hope you get what I mean. I don't care if you're like a white supremacist. Like if you're on the internet and somebody's posting your address, like that's a whole, but you know what I mean? Like dangerous to society, of course, like go nuts, but like I don't wish that on people, and especially not Tim Pool. I think he's an idiot, but like it's fucked up. Like I'm not even gonna there's gonna be no like Tim Pool like deserve that or anything here. No, I'm not going in that direction. I do wish him well. I hope everybody's safe. Like I don't want him to die. I don't want none of that bullshit. Like none of that shit. No. All the marketplace of ideas. To address the Twitter, some people don't want to sit through 3, 4, 5 hours of a dissertation of somebody looking through their content and debunking it. When it comes to these specific dissertations, when we get into more political dissertations, when we get into theory and we start getting into interpretation of events, that's when I'll start doing like bigger form. I'll load up 6 videos and say this person discussed this here, this person discussed that there. But for these type of people, the Candace Owens, the Tim Pools, the Ben Shapiros, their identity on the internet is synchronized across platforms. They don't say one thing on one platform and then go the opposite way on another. They keep it consistent. With that being said, most of the things that he posts are things that he talks about on his channel. The things that he posts are how he actually feels. He has developed that personality to say the most outrageous forms of what he wants to say without nuance on this platform. So for those people, I stick to Twitter because it's just easier for you to ingest 280 characters as opposed to their 3,000 like hour long content shits. Anyway, let's hop into it. And let me discuss to you why I think Tim Pool, this shit don't ever fix itself, is a tool. Yep, we have to oppose violence on principle as much as we like to stop poison. Yep, yeah, of course, no. Again, like I'm real. Like people could get angry at me and I wouldn't want that shit to happen to me. So, the reason why we are starting right here. We're starting right here. I'm not even going to do the Dave Rubin shit. Is because I wanted to do this dissertation months ago, almost a year ago. But I was unable to because every time I sat down and I said, I'm going to make my stream just about this today so I can get this out of the way, this motherfucker kept posting and posting and posting and getting larger and louder till I realized he was turning into Alex Jones. So, as some of my chatters have mentioned about the Hake report, why don't you just let him bury himself? I've finally gotten to the point where he's buried himself. So now I'm taking the opportunity to be that guy and do this. Also, we're about, I would say, 8 minutes into this video. Fuck him, because Heem is doing a piece on Tim Pool, and the irony is that we both are doing it on the same day. And I was like, I literally tweeted to him, fuck you, ain't no way that I finally got the point of doing this and you're gonna drop a video on the subject at the same time. I hate it here. I hate it here so much. But we will probably watch Heem's video just for the sake of seeing if I was maybe right about some of my thoughts or if I share thoughts with him because he's a great creator. See, you can talk shit about other people and also like them because it's a joke. I'm not immutable characteristics. It's just funny. It's a coincidence that we can play off of, and I can promote his video. And like I can help a bigger creator who has helped me by platforming me in the past keep up that relevancy. Oh wow, they still like each other. They still talk. You see how easy that is? Y'all should try it sometime. Being friends with people. Instead of being dickheads, like don't it, dickhead. Like down it, dickhead. Okay. We're going to try to go as far up as we can until my brain shuts off. At the end of this video, or at the end of this segment, at the end of this broadcast, at the end of this part, you should be able to figure out why I don't like Tim Pool and why you shouldn't like him either. But he's got like millions of followers. I'm not shifting everyone's paradigm. This is for the people who just don't know and need to be exposed to the dangers that is the existence of Tim Pool. Katie Hill, Jim Cramer, Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker. The vaccines work so clearly. The only explanation is that these people lied about being vaccinated. They must be anti-vaxxers. Disgraced former California Democratic Representative Katie Hill says she's tested positive for COVID at 8 months pregnant, despite being fully vaccinated and boosted. December 21st, 2021, we got the authorization for the vaccines in, I think, June, July, August, one of those months, somewhere in there. We were pushing out the vaccines in February. Being vaccinated, as we literally have covered 100,394 times, does not stop you from getting COVID. It stops you from getting hospitalized. 3.9K likes. I can't even break 10 on a tweet where I'm telling you I finally got over 500,000 views on YouTube. I wanted to tweet out and I wanted to tell everyone that I've actually amassed over 10 million views across all platforms for all the work that I've done, that I've put out that might not be on my channel, but I kept it personal. I can't even break 10, but this is clear misinformation. This is as that episode of The Walking Dead where Rick and them ran into Daryl and that the group that said, "Oh, when you lie, you got to get taught to a certain degree," and then they wanted to kill Daryl for like telling a lie because he's good people. That there is a lie. That there is a lie. That right there is a full blown lie. I caught COVID. My dad caught COVID. We are fully vaccinated but not boosted. We survived it, thank God. Had he had not been fully vaccinated, that shit would have smoked him. And I'm sure he's got long COVID. I'm sure he's got long COVID. He's not the same. Like, his brain still is at least good. We're having like deeper conversations about the world and shit, which is surprising me. You know, he's 68, 69 years old and he's still pumping out like theories and shit on me. Like, that's cool. But like, that right there is a lie. That right there is a lie. It was only a matter of time. The Babylon Bee post. After the world realizes he was right about everything, Alex Jones appointed as new head of CDC. We click the link. It's a joke. Joke website. It was only a matter of time. Alex Jones is not right. Alex Jones is the guy who throws out a million things at a dartboard. And of course, if you were to take a dartboard and shoot a machine gun at it, odds are one of those bullets will hit the bullseye. Like by default of... Anyway, that's a joke tweet. Don't take that too seriously, right? Let's keep going. People are going to love post-Twitter Jack. I have nothing to do with Web3. Wall Street Journal and others need names and photos to generate clicks. It's just him talking about Bitcoin. Santa isn't real. And inflation will go away after he visits us. He's just having it fun. Now we see Jack Unleashed. I don't get what that is about. I mean, take it as you will. The only explanation is that they fake getting vaccinated a virtue signal because we all know the vaccine works. Senator Warren, he's reposting. This is the same day. Say the line, Bart. I guess what? Is it vaccines work or whatever? Like, they're supposed to live. The idea is not putting it up to chance that they will die when they get COVID because of the vaccine. I don't know how many times I'm going to have this conversation before a new variant pops up and just starts murking fools. Like, those are the only ones they had. You sound like you blaming me. I promise you, when you get out the hospital, you're going to be chilling. Half that food going to be gone, and I'm going to be mad at you. So we'll take it as it is. Unless you have a legitimate medical reason. If you're not vaccinated, I don't want to see you, talk to you, work with you, socialize with you, and know you. It's enough. Your personal freedom is holding the rest of us hostage. It's selfish and stupid. Now, we can go into people who literally cannot get the vaccine due to underlying medical conditions, being advised by their doctors. That person is not talking about those people. I think everyone's gotten to be smart enough to say that when they say these things, they're talking about the willful, ignorant dumbasses who are like doing this to own the libs. This is obvious. The same thing as liberal tears, the non-vaccinated are getting this. Simple as that. I'm not disowning my mother because she doesn't get vaccinated. I just look at her differently and try to explain to her, nothing's wrong. I got vaccinated. See, it's not a problem. Wait, third arm. well, except for the third arm, I wish I could green screen a third arm. That shit would have been fire. That shit would have been fire. Anna is spot on. We should demand people provide proof of their medical conditions to us. Who said that? Chat, tell me who said that? Who said that? Where where was that? Where was that spoke? Where who? When how? We should demand people provide proof of their medical conditions to us. When you have sex with a new person, generally sometimes they'll say get tested before and get tested after. Tell me if you have an STD, please, before we like do the thing. But like, isn't that a violation of HIPAA? You see how corny you want me to debunk this with citations and facts and numbers, and it's like the people that you look up to don't even do that. So people should be forced to disclose if they have any diseases so we can be sure we are safe. Literally, though, like, why would you come into the whole measles thing was because people just like real world touch grass examples of why we already do that. And don't even bring up, I know my chat already brought it up, but in schools, you have to show vaccination anyway. It's like, duh. But that's too obvious for them because they get away with the post, and I got to sit there with the one comment and the 3 likes while I get ratio to oblivion. It's so hard hearing the same mind-numbing statements over and over. If you just understand how the vaccines work, you don't expect immunity. The numbers play out showing how beneficial the vaccine is too. You still want to avoid catching it for yourself, even beyond not wanting to continue spreading it. Like, I think he's trying to make a statement that like wouldn't be ridiculous if we required everyone to give us all their medical background. That's a hard read, but yeah, I was thinking about STDs and sexual partners. Why do I need to wear a helmet if I rarely fall off my bike? Because my truck coming. Because my truck coming. That's why. You better put on that helmet because I'm finna. Is it this? That would make sense if it was that. Let me make sure my light is still good. Sorry. Yeah, we still good here. Could be a little brighter. A little bright. There you go. All righty. My head's a little cut off, but that's fine because y'all know I'll be hitting like this. Anyway. I wouldn't. Matter of fact, I'll save my conclusion on why I'm even worrying about these tweets and not the bigger things later. I'll save the conclusion of this dissertation. That's what you do in a dissertation. You give out why you should be invited into the graduate's master's or why you should pass on with a master's degree, and this is your dissertation. Whatever this was got deleted, so LOL. Take that L. If someone was taking ivermectin to prevent COVID and then got COVID, the media would be shitting all over them, which already happens. If you get triple vax and still get COVID and still encourage the vax, it's considered normal. Okay, see, I don't have to repeat myself over and over again because I've already debunked that. So that was like what 4 tweets on the same day about the same thing that was untrue. So he spent the entire day of December 21st, 2021 lying, just flat out lying. There is no debunking. There is no debate in the marketplace of ideals. You are pushing a literal narrative to your followers. You are pushing lies to your followers for the clicks, to go trending, to grow. I get why you're doing it. You're covering and you're talking about me, so I must be doing something right. But like there are idiots that follow Tim Pool and think he's speaking the truth the same way there are idiots that follow Joe Rogan and and say that they are saying the truth. Bill Gates is right. Cancel your Christmas now before it's too late. Just when it seemed like life will return to normal, we could be entering the worst part of the pandemic, which we are. Omicron will hit home for all of us. Close friends of mine now have it, and I've canceled most of my holiday plans. Omicron is spreading faster than any virus in history, which is true. It will soon be in every country in the world, which is true. It was. The big unknown is how sick Omicron makes you. We need to take it seriously until we know more about it. True. Even if only half as severe as Delta, it will be the worst surge we've seen so far because it's so infectious. It's like you would call out of work. You would call out of work. Sorry, my thing is buzzing. I think it's because there's dust. Check real quick. In the middle of a YouTube segment, I'm breaking. All right, so it looks like I Okay. Anyway, cancel your Christmas now before it's too late. Irony is, most Christmases ended up getting canceled because of Omicron. And that's when people started dying again on my side. Lawsuit. My firm and Burns Law are representing Jody Shaw against Smith College in federal court. We allege that Smith forced Shaw to undergo ritual racial humiliation and tasked him with implementing policies that racially segregated and discriminated against students. I'm not even going to read that. This sounds dumb. You will never be fully vaccinated. What the fuck is this? Is this a CGI? Hey, yo, what the I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I hope you guys are finding this stream entertaining, because I am. I'm actually starting to enjoy talking about these things, because, like, hey, yo. Really? I mean, I guess nobody, as Hope lurking while driving home from school, heard you. Based on emerging facts. What a what a cock. Some people cheer Kyle. Oh, this is his Kyle Rittenhouse arc. Some people cheer Kyle as a hero. Some people see him as a monster. I don't see how there can be political reconciliation.
So if you don't know this, Kyle Rittenhouse is currently on a MAGA media tour around the country. He's doing radio interviews, touring the Dallas Cowboys locker room, and now he's a confirmed speaker at Turning Point USA's upcoming America Fest.
And I always wanted to ask this question to everybody who like watched that, who attended that, who was like, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, like, what did he do for you? Where is the victory in Kyle Rittenhouse being acquitted? Because I could almost go back to O.J. Simpson and Rodney King and be like, where was... You're not following the same thread. You're not following the...
He's right there on their website. American flag waving behind him, just grinning away like a celebrity guest. And he is a celebrity guest, because a third of this country has turned this teenage murderer into a star.
Like, literally, though, even if you don't think, oh, well, he was acquitted, he's not a murderer, like, he did kill people. Oh, but he did it provoked. Like, keep going into black people and how their societies work, and if they're provoked by violence in a city that's naturally violent, they will naturally respond with violence. Keep going into the issues that submerge our communities into these violent centers that need actual resources in order to be able to turn their communities around. Keep going into the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse could have just stayed home, as I've said plenty of times before. Keep going into the fact that he didn't need to be armed. He could have had a pistol, a hatchet, and I would have thought way different, but he had an aggressive weapon, which naturally causes people to feel more aggressive around him. Keep going into the situations and how a child would respond to this. A 17-year-old is okay to shoot people in self-defense, but if a 14-year-old gets caught outside with a neighborhood gang and he's shooting, oh, that's black on black violence and that's bad. Keep going.
This isn't some traumatized boy weeping hysterically on the stand after being forced to shoot 3 people. This is a right-wing media darling, kicking back, having some laughs, shooting off his opinion about basketball and girls. He's not laying low and starting his life over like his lawyer suggested. He's capitalizing, riding high.
And it's funny too, because a lot of the communities in music were really shitting on Bad Baby for taking that interview, Cash Me Outside, and spinning that into a music career. But then she ended up having popping tracks and wasn't involved in none of that bullshit. So, like,
he's exactly
hell, we could go all the way to Kim Kardashian. Oh, it's funny to talk about it. Oh, she made a sex tape and got famous off it. But, like, in the realm of these, comparing two really bad straw men, look at me, even telling you I'm using a straw man argument. In comparing these two straw men, who caused more harm? Like, men got off to that. Men are still getting off to that. Not assaulting women. Like, keep going. We could keep going.
The guy we all knew he was. The boy in the free as fuck t-shirt throwing the white power symbol, and he's out here devouring...
I'm not going to keep watching this because we already know what it is. I don't see how there can be political reconciliation. I don't even know what you mean by that. Okay. Lori Lightfoot, she's not winning with me right now just because of what she's doing with the teachers union. But to put it simply, if you haven't been living vaccine-free, your time is up. If you wish to live life as with the ease to do things to love, you must be vaxxed. The health order may pose an inconvenience to the unvaccinated, and in fact, it is inconvenient by design. Easy. Like, we know why it's surging. We literally are seeing it to the point where people are starting to expect to get COVID when they go outside to see their friends. That, like, I don't want to see you when you got a cold. I don't want to see you when you got the flu. I don't want to see you when you got herpes. I don't want to see, like, Not saying that you could transmit herpes like that, but you know, if you're like kissing people, blah, 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 whatever. I don't want to see you if you're undisclosing things to me. This is the same thing. Tyranny and fascism. It's getting bolder. It's getting more threatening. Or you could just get the vaccine. And then when the virus stops, everything opens. Oh, wait, we already opened everything. We're already living in an open fucking society. 2 cities decide to shut everything down. It's tyranny and fascism. Like, Florida's free, though, right? Walter Reed's spike blah 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 vaccine completed animal trials earlier this year with positive results. Phase 1 of human trials was tested the vaccine against Omicron and the wrapped up this. U.S. Army creates single vaccine against all COVID and SARS variants, which is what we were planning to do. I trust the science. You trust the television. I thought Omicron might render vax mandates useless, but my hope has once again been crushed. Sorry, it's not as effective. Look, they don't even trust it. They don't, and then they just spread more conspiracy. Why do I get the feeling Trump was behind this vaccine from day one? Pfizer will make sure this fails. You see, you don't even like it when good things happen. His own audience doesn't even like when good things happen. So, like, who are we trusting here? What are we doing? This is what regular people look like. The rest of you are conspiracy theorists. I'm flying today, but I'm not fucking around with Omicron, Pfizer, negative natural immunity, N95 sealed, secondary mask, face shield, vinyl gloves, touchscreen gloves, shit ton of Xanax. All right, you're bugging a little bit there, but like, this is what regular people look like. Please go outside. Please touch grass. Please touch grass. Cloth masks are still winning out. Most people can't afford to find or buy KN95s. These things are like, these things are easy. 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 Yeah, we talked about that. We're not a fan of it. We're not going through like the idea of causing harm or asking for harm. This is purely a marketplace of ideals, why I don't like Tim Pool, why I think Tim Pool is a tool. I do wish him well in that regard. If anybody watching this on YouTube to this point, I'm going to repeat that again because I know it was early in the video and you probably skipped through to see when I started talking about him. Again, this is not like he gets what he deserves. This is not you get what you fucking deserve. It's not one of them situations. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Not especially being a person who's indoors and makes content and then like gets attacked. Like that could have ended badly. I don't want nobody dying or nothing. The left is melting down over Omicron being a big nothing because COVID gave their meaningless lives purpose. What? The left is the one hurt by it the most, and now the right is getting hurt by it, and we trying to save you, but for a full year, they were able to express their inner Karens, harassing strangers for not following arbitrary and pointless rules. Back to normal is hell for them. Ratioed. I wish. I'm gonna just give you this like, because I see where you're going. I enjoy that John seems to think of a virtue of being to his left politically. Millions of people with considerably more money, family, professional responsibility, and respect power than him are living meaningless lives. Relatedly, I also enjoy John's lack of self-awareness. Exactly. At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It basically gives mean people a shield to be mean and cruel, armored in false virtue. Elon Musk, the Babylon Bee. Like, buy guns. Not even going to cover that. When critics say a movie is bad, I immediately assume the obvious. 2 people enter a restaurant. Only one is vaxxed. They are both standing next to each other. Unvaxxed is waiting to order takeout. Vaxxed is waiting for a table. Vaxxed has COVID but has proof of vaccination, is allowed to sit. Unvaxxed does not have COVID but must leave. If the vaxxed gives again, hey, we don't get that. We Tim Pool bad, swatting is worse. Correct. Correct. Absolutely correct. Like we would Tim Pool bad. Like, but swatting is worse. Absolutely. They have K95s at Food Lion now. I bought 20. Hey, spread them around, you know, in case you see anybody who need one. Throw one in there. We're gonna say this again. Being vaxxed gives you a way higher percentage of not needing a hospital bed. Not are using that pure blood unironically. Yeah. He's gonna mention that up there too. Yeah, no, being vaxxed means that you probably will not die or need a hospital bed from COVID. Restaurants took that and ran with it. That's a bad thing. We should fix that policy. That is a bad, even if you want to even be nasty and uncharitable to this argument. The liberal policy of keeping restaurants open if you can show proof of vaccination is a bad thing. We should have rapid tests that allow people to see if they have COVID before they enter a place that they will sit in. But you don't want to go that far because we don't even have the infrastructure to answer that. See how all these, like, look at that. Look at the gel of this stream. It goes so well together. It is the most informative, entertaining stream you're probably going to see because we're going so deep into it with such fast, rapidly. Paradigm moment. Anyway.
Exempt from this order are houses of worship, K through 12 schools, grocery stores, office buildings, and residential buildings. Now, that doesn't mean that people who are in control of those spaces shouldn't themselves affirmatively take precautions.
Oh my God, she said have your freedom. If it's not a business place that we collect tax revenue from, do your own research. That's what he wants. Did he even watch this fucking clip?
But for now, this order doesn't cover those venues. Also exempt are any individuals entering an establishment for less than 10 minutes for the purpose of merely ordering food or drink. So, if you're going...
Freedom. You can still go to the restaurant, they just won't sit you. You still get the food, though. If they didn't give you the food and told you fuck off, then you got a problem. But they're not even doing that, even though they earn their rights to do that. And she just said...
in that coffee shop to pick up and go, you don't need to show proof. But if you're going to linger, you're going to eat that muffin, you're going to sit down with your laptop, you got to show proof of vaccination.
For the same reason that I said in a video almost a year ago, because it's like I'm repeating myself because we're still going into years of this. I don't want people dying at my establishment or claiming they caught COVID because I had bad regulations in place, because that drives down business. If Six Flags has a ride that breaks down and kills 14 people, do you think motherfuckers are still going to Six Flags tomorrow? I hate that, bro. Proof of vaccination is not proof you don't have COVID. I just said that. Vax dude takes off his mask and sits down and spews the droplets all over people's grandmothers. Which is why unvaccinated people shouldn't be fucking sitting there. Oh my God. Please have self-awareness. Please have self-awareness. I'm begging you. It takes 8 fucking seconds to have self-awareness, and like this dude has nothing. Of course, houses of worship are exempt. This country has too much love for religion. Like, didn't we have this argument? And they were like, no, we need to be able to say thank God together with our community, because that's the only way we can feel together and our hearts can beat as one and we can sing to our worshiping one God. What does it cover? I don't even know at this point. Apparently it don't cover nothing because she done exemplified everything but coffee shops. Like, look at that. You talking about tyranny and fascism, and these motherfuckers at 4 places. Sucker, you don't even work. You work at a log mill. You don't even got time for the movies, and you complaining about this shit. Ah! I work at a school. I was a teacher, so I'm gonna read this with actual sincerity, where all the staff are vaxxed, but it still bugs me though. Like, and they're not required to. But kids can't make the decision, so their parents push that anti-vax bullshit because they're reading it off of Tim Pool's page, because they're young parents sitting there 32 to 35 getting their information from fucking Ben Shapiro, and you motherfuckers act like I'm like the villain for telling you, instead of me debunking the shit for hours and hours and times on end. You're making me sit there and say, you should be able to debate them in the murky piece of deals. Like, you're just stupid. You're wrong. I'm not having this conversation with you. I don't care if you want a clip. I don't care if you want context. I don't care if you want content. Like, you're stupid. Like, I'm not trying to be funny with you. You're just a dumbass. Like, you're dumb. Like, you're dumb. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're just flat out wrong. Oh, but show me your citations. You don't want to play in the rhetoric? I know. I'm not a debate bro. Like, I've talked to right-wingers hardcore right wingers, and landed on, oh, I can see that. That's a good conservative point. I can see that. Now you're talking. All right, let's go deeper into that. How can I both come from the leftist side and give you what you want without destroying that value that you so carefully about? Then it gets into economics, actual policy, and then you realize, oh, you're not like a MAGA head. You're actual conservative. You're not a neocon. This is conservatism, though? No, this is idiocracy. So if they don't have the measles vax, they can't go to school. Why can't it be the same COVID? Because we're too dumb to put two and two together. Americans are just too dumb. Like, this is the same thing I said during can you sleep with other creators and or your fans? Men are dumb. Like, men are dumb. Like, but if we let a woman in charge of the country, if we let a woman in charge of the country, she'll run off emotions. Like, you motherfuckers are posting off emotions right now. Vaccinated people still get COVID, still spread COVID, but they think they get to sit down in restaurants spewing the droplets. He took the same tweet and just retweeted it. The vaccinated are trying to kill people. Kill me. Smoke me right in the fucking dome. Oh my God. Is this not vaccine misinformation? Oh, it's not, because he's not saying the truth. He's not saying a lie. That is true. Vaccinated people still get COVID, still spread COVID. What's he skipping, though? For my YouTube audience that have made it this far, what's he skipping? What's the other comma? What's the last thing he should probably put on top of that? Vaccinated people still get COVID. Vaccinated people still spread COVID. No lies detected. What's the last part, though? What's that cornerstone last part? Oh, look, the chat just said it for you. Let me make that shit wide so motherfuckers can read. I'll even make it look like it's coming out of my mouth. Less likely to die. Oh boy, look at that. Ain't that fucking crazy? Ain't that crazy? Matter of fact, this chat should be larger. It's only smaller because I used it for the debate panels. Ain't that crazy? Look at that. Less likely to die. If I'm gonna get COVID because Omicron's spreading so rapidly, it's unstoppable at this point. Why not just put motherfucking extra layer of protection? You don't even want that. You have bad sex. Like, I could tell everything about you. Got no food in your fridge. Where your plates at? Why are you drinking grape drink but you hate black people? You're not helping me to figure out none of this shit, bro. I'm getting nothing from this. Nothing from this. Breaking: Spain to require face masks outdoors again. Government, obviously. The lockdowns are coming back to the US. How did you reach this conclusion? One step at a time. Vax mandate won't work, and then they will say they have no choice but to lock down. Because nobody's following the vax mandate, because as you just reposted from a stream just a couple seconds ago, you literally said, the woman literally said, if all these places are exempt. You're killing me, Tim. You're killing me. You're trying too hard. You can be funny without being a dickhead, and somehow you just don't have that perception, that ability to do so. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. DC will require vaccination at restaurants, gyms, entertainment facilities, and other indoor venues beginning January 15th. Smart, obviously. It won't end here. It literally ended there. The new Matrix film is conservative propaganda about families needing a mother and father. I am triggered. Bro, it's made by trans women. It's made by women who are trans. That's a better way to say that. What's the most PC way to put that? Women who are trans, or because I see trans women as just women, so it's like I just want to say women, but like I'm also trying to be factually correct here in the form of how I would want to talk about this with somebody. So trans women, I think, right? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, right? Someone just hit my car in the drive-thru. Hey, yo, what the fuck? You good? It's also tiring to hear the right say, well, the chance of death is really low. Chiller drive-thru is my girlfriend's car. What the fuck, my man said it. Not my insurance. Dean finds himself in weirdest situations. Weirdest situations. No damage though. They paid for my drive-thru. Okay. As long as you good. As long as you good. I figured you meant for my drive through for my food. I figured that. Um, well, the chance of death is really low, as if death is the only negative of having COVID. They harp on the potential long-term effects, but not COVID. Yep. Just talked about that with my dad. Just talked to my dad. I'm glad you're okay, though. No damage. Because insurance right now is a fucking nightmare. Okay. Anyway, we're going to continue. Not that I got sidetracked. I just want to make sure you're okay, because long-time viewer, you know. The new Matrix film is conservative propaganda about families needing a mother and a father. I am triggered. It, in fact, is not. And as a matter of fact, it's so fucking far left that it hurts you didn't get that. Literally about the badness, the evilness of corporations just pulling your IPs and your work to do with whatever they please because they have the money and they're going to do it with or without you, which was stated in the first 15 minutes of the film. Did anyone actually watch the new Matrix film, or were you just looking for Neo to be like the badass again? Like, the points were made so obvious. It was felt unnecessary. Yeah, no, it is. It is. It like literally is unnecessary. The point of the film was to make it so you understood it was unnecessary, but they also wanted to make a good film. Like, I just wanted badass Neo. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's like, I like people who say they didn't like the movie because like it felt like an unnecessary addition. But in that regard, I also say, yeah, I wanted more John Wick. He probably did all the stunts and learned for John Wick, so they couldn't do much with him, like during the filming of The Matrix. I like film shit. Like, I'm a filmmaker, so like I haven't done a lot of film analyses in a long time on this channel. The last one I think I did was a long time ago. One of my most popular segments about blackface in Tropic Thunder. Like, we could go back into that, and I could explain to you like the back end of films and shit. But like, again, we do a whole bunch of content here, so sticking on the Tim Pool thing, but that's my thing on the Matrix. I will do a further look into it using Screen Rant. If anybody ever watches Screen Rant, Screen Rant did a really good job of laying out these points that I'm making, and I will take that and go a little deeper with the actual script of the movie, because I can't show it on screen, obviously, because the MCA claims. Whoops, wrong one. Sorry. Anyway, dumbass. Equity is shorthand for social equity. No, it's not. Which means adjusting shares to make citizens equal. No, it's not. Which is socialism. No, it's not. It is analyzed and applied via critical theory, aka critical Marxism, which shifts it to groups. Thus, equity is neo-Marxist socialism, i.e. neo-socialism. All of that is wrong. All of that is wrong. And you might say at this point in the video, well, prove to us how it's wrong. Fair and impartial. Social equity is impartiality, fairness, and justice for all people in social policy. Social equity takes into account systemic inequalities where everyone in the community has access to the same opportunities and outcomes. Equity of all kinds acknowledges that inequalities exist and works to eliminate them. What is the definition of social equity? Social equity, as defined by the National Academy of Public Administration, the fair, just, and equitable management of all institutions serving the public directly or by contract, and the fair and equitable distribution of public services, and implementation of public policy, and the commitment to promote fairness, justice, and equity, and the formation of public policy. Social policy and social equity within it. Notice that social policy is the top here. And social equity within it can include a variety of public contexts. This includes, but is not limited to, education, policing, welfare, housing, and transportation. Let's go back to this post. Equity is shorthand for social equity, which means adjusting shares to make citizens equal. Not true. If your area is underserved by education and public transit, and another area is heavily overserved, the idea is to make sure that even in the smallest form of infrastructure that we can build, you still have the same opportunity. That is not socialism. That is actually capitalism, because we just did a whole hour piece on Elon Musk literally trying to pull off social equity. People with Teslas only. It is analyzed and applied via critical theory. That's obviously not true, aka critical Marxism, which is not true. Again, if your pathos, if your logos is not correct, your pathos is not correct. Philosophy 101. Just in, Chicago restaurant patrons likely will be required to show proof of vaccination and a driver's license before dining indoors. The president of the Illinois Restaurant Association said Tuesday, and a driver's license, which thing we have forever been told by these same people is a racist imposition if you want to require it to vote. Any journalist going to ask about that comparison? I just want to see. Voting is required for democracy. Going to restaurants isn't. Voting is a right. Eating at a restaurant is a luxury. So if you're legally too blind to drive, you don't get to vote. I'm sure when they said driver's license, they fucking meant state ID. Oh, because that is a what is it? A non-class driver's license, some shit like that. It says like class ID is like non. They don't like voter ID because it makes it more difficult to cheat. That's it. That's the only reason they don't like voter ID. Obviously, disruptive account. How many times I'm going to go through it? It's normal. Pretends voting isn't a citizen's right. Thank you. Next, you'll need an enhanced driver's license backed up by several forms of official government ID. You already fucking need that to make big purchases like houses, you dickhead. Okay. Retweets are not that hard for me to work through. North Carolina police chief placed on unpaid leave for telling officers about clinic to obtain COVID-19 vaccination cards without getting a shot. That's a good thing. Thank you for that. I'm going to throw him a like. That's a good thing. Andy No, obviously the biggest fucking troll on the internet, breaking the lawsuit filed against me by Portland Antifa members Melissa Lewis and Grace Morgan has been withdrawn 12 days after it was filed. Thank you. You're going to support my ongoing lawsuit against Antifa for assault at... The dismissed Antifa lawsuit against me claimed I violated the rights of two Portland women because I had retweeted them. I don't get that. Andy No is just crying. Like, literally, that's awesome. I'm gonna get a team awesome. Okay, he's being a dick. Wow, breaking news from Andy No letting us know that Americans file frivolous lawsuits when their feelings are hurt. Truly breaking edge journalism on the fringes of what's happening. And this is what I don't want to happen. 7 likes, 19 replies. Fuck out of here. I've joined that group. LOL, I was wrong about the lawsuit against Andy No. It didn't get to summary judgment because it was a fake lawsuit to begin with. And then retweets it again. Outcome reached in Kim Potter case. Okay, I don't care about that. Breaking. Parents in Virginia have filed a lawsuit against Albemarle County School Board for promoting race essentialism, collective guilt, and anti-white racism in public schools. The case will test whether critical race pedagogy violates civil rights law. No, it doesn't. All right. So at this point, I've gone so fucking deep that you know what was really good? Lovecraft Country. Talk your shit. Talk. Round of applause. Somebody get that person a gift sub if they already haven't. Get that person a gift sub. That was exactly Lovecraft Country. We could be talking about that and like motherfuckers didn't know about the Tulsa bombing until an HBO show, The Watchmen, had to show it to them. Okay, guys, education's great in the United States. No errors here. No need to fix anything. Everything is fine. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna start skipping a few of these because anytime he repeats like his aggravation, I'm just gonna let it go. Because like I'm tired of talking about vaccines because as deep as I could go into it, if you're here, you're bored. Like I'm just making fun of him. I want to get to like educating. Got a car from our restaurant to the movies. Driver told us slavery is coming back in reference to Chicago's new vaccine mandate. Gives me hope as more regular people speak out against the fascists. I really want you to see why Tim Pool is a tool. Does that make it clear? I could end the whole video on this, but I'm not gonna. Does that make it clear? Does that right there? Slavery, fascism, America. Who suffers here? No, it's okay. If you're on YouTube right now, say black people out loud. Go ahead. You said it already. I heard you. Black and poor people, right? Black and brown. POC, AAPI, yeah. Oh, black people are the most hesitant group to get vaccines. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. How many people has Fox News fired for refusing the vaccine? Almost none, Nick. Oh, I almost said it. The Harlem in me came out. Harlem and me was about to come out. My bad, guys. I'm keeping it professional for the stream. How many people has Fox News fired for refusing the vaccine? Almost none, guy, because they all took it. Your big man Tucker Carlson shot the hell up. Like, racism is the answer for all their problems. Peter Dinklage says Game of Thrones upset fans because they wanted a happy ending for the pretty white people. That literally was the thing. He's talking about something super fucking specific. I almost said Pacific. He's talking about something super specific. Super specific. Okay, we're gonna go up a little bit. 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 We're gonna go up a little bit because this man literally spends all his time tweeting. Okay. Okay. Soft martial law.
In accordance with Decree 2021-096, adopted under the Public Health Act, you are ordered between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. to be at your residence or the ground of that residence. Refusal to obey either of these orders makes you liable to a fine ranging from $1,000 to $6,000.
We had curfews already. And didn't we admonish black people in this state for breaking that curfew for protests? And they were like, well, they should have known when the curfew was. Remember that argument? Why were they out during? And we're just doing the same. And it's like, part of me says that's too far. That looks a little too dystopian. But like, over policement has been a thing in black people's and poorer communities for so long that now it's affecting you and you want to have a problem with it, but you're not listening to do the health thing anyway. I think it's stupid to have the identity of curfews because like, oh, COVID doesn't spread past 8 p.m. But limiting the amount of big, large gathering places makes absolute sense when people are not being honest about their COVID status, people are not being honest about their vaccination status. People use line cooks. Now you're learning that a lot of people in the restaurant industry used to go to work sick and you didn't give a shit because you couldn't see them. Again, if I don't see it, it's not my problem. Marjorie Taylor Greene got banned. Good. One of my shit posts has made it to the #1 spot in Reddit. The best part is Assange's strawman statement, completely unrelated to a joke about irony. The Holocaust Museum demanding your papers for entrance is the perfect way to explain to someone the definition of irony. Fucking. You think the most important part of the Holocaust was that Nazis asked people for their papers? Do you go to a bar and think this is just like the Holocaust when they ask for your ID? Straw man statement. That literally is the thing you're trying to say because you hold more weight than a shit poster. You're supposed to be a journalist. We're supposed to come to... Fuck this beanie. Twitter banning people won't go well for them. They are banning themselves into irrelevance. I have more followers here. I'm so glad that you posted about it. Mask required in public places starting 5 p.m. for everyone, effective 12/31. It's not just idiocracy. All of these restaurants know that requiring masks for 10 seconds makes no sense and will not deter COVID, but they do it anyway. It's people willfully enforcing psychotic etiquette. I think that's what he meant to say. Again, we talked about how dumb that is. So he's not wrong. But see how he spins something that could spiral into us actually implementing correct policy and infrastructure. And like, okay, instead of us even doing this, like some restaurants were doing where they were boxing people in, they had like little things that you could box in and then they would disinfect and sanitize. Like I was sitting around with people who had the flu at the bar, just, chugging back shots and going, ah, and then getting sick after. I wonder why. Watch how this Twitter user mocks reporters for talking candidly about the trauma associated with the Capitol attack. This tweet is watch how this reliable sources panel discusses covering 1/6 like it's the Normandy invasion. Trauma. So no trauma from January 6th. It wasn't that bad, guys. That's the end take from conservatives. January 6th wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. BLM and Antifa were way worse. Not even talking about like the months and months of time and the fact that you only did one thing, and of course it was at the Capitol during the election process, not like it was like you put senators and people in danger, and not like you were screaming to hang people. We could say pigs can fry, but like, are we literally taking police officers and roasting them? No, they're shooting at us. So like, of course it's the same thing. I love the quid pro quo. BLM and Antifa, if we're gonna look at January 6th as bad, we should look at BLM and Antifa as bad as well. And then I even, like, during that panel debate, I even said I can empathize with the idea of why you think that. Because yes, are BLM and Antifa, or I should just say BLM because Antifa's a whole other subject. Is BLM being led by the right people, giving off the right feelings of and motivations of social change? Absolutely not. Are the protests that turn into riots due to police interference and the agitation of groups, are there? We even found out there were FBI and antagonizers in there. We've seen that before. Oh, Operation Paperclip, COINTELPRO, like all of that. Like, you talk about all these conspiracies and then don't bring them up because we're smart enough not to fall for it. But no, you're doing this for clicks, right? Because COINTELPRO couldn't happen twice, right? Keep talking to me like I'm dumb. Keep talking to me like I'm dumb. Hey man, I'm going to be getting a job at City Hall. I plan to start a group called the Unity Project to get community engaged and bridge the gap between local politics. I want people to have more of a say in the direction the city goes. And there you go. I'm going to call my girlfriend. It might be back if she doesn't kill me. My brain somehow thought you were going to call him Nick Fuentes. I know why you said that. Hey, thank you for the gift sub. I learned from Gap Band. Yeah, there you go. Very, very good to hear that. That's my thing. That's why I ran for mayor, because I wanted more people to have like a say from the ground up. We talk about a Malcolm in the Middle clip. I'll probably share that at the end of the stream. If you stay for that long, but I like to hear that. That's what I like. That's what I want to do. Like, okay, I'm doing this to fuel your ability to be able to talk about what the actual issues are, and also know what the detractors are going to say. I can't teach you how to debate, bro, with them, but I can at least teach you where they're coming from, how to empathize with them, but then also say, bro, I'm solving both our issues. You're just a fascist. You're just weird. Like, take that shit away from me. Man, you can really put out a lot of tweets without expending yourself too much if you never actually use your brain. Tim Pool is actually a genius, not Tim Pool the tool. That's the whole say. Man, I'm still stuck on that one where he accuses Hassan of creating a strawman argument. The only way you can legitimately check if vaccines is separating by class. Tim obviously got paid for that getter tweet. He would die without Twitter. Yep. Y'all learning. What are the motivations for why people are even beginning to talk about these things? Yep. Keep going. See, that's why I spend hours doing this. I'm not bumbling here and talking to you because I want to impress you with my performative language. People need more in-depth, why do you think this way? Because I can debunk your shit. That everyone can do that. We can spend a whole day having a war on social media between righties and lefties and who's right and who's wrong. I'd rather say, here's why they feel that way. That's why they take these small little facts, which I know Destiny said in that debate that Dylan was covering. You could take all these little straw man facts and put them all together into this big web. But if we actually took a look at what you're talking about, it doesn't actually apply to the theory or the conclusion that you're actually making. So what point are you actually trying to say? I skip all that. What's your point? Will Smith, what's your point? Like, matter of fact, do I have that clip? Do I have that clip at the ready? I do not have that clip at the ready. Damn. Hold on, let me see if I can launch it in a different window.
What's your point? What's your point? What's your point?
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna lurk, finish the drive home. Get home safely, please. Thank goodness. Get home safely, please. How long have I been talking about this? Oh, we're heading on an hour. I love it. This is a dissertation. Dissertations take about 45 minutes to an hour and 15. I love it. I'm doing the right thing. Okay. Health experts say intermittent fasting, keto, and avoiding extra sugar are dietary changes worth considering. I remember when keto was dangerous because people weren't following keto the correct way, and it was creating like a disproportion. Like my friend got on keto because she thought it was going to be the most awesomest thing ever, and she gained weight. Like it caused massive problems with her, and she was gaining weight. She saw a loss, a dramatic loss, and then it just all flooded back. It doesn't provide you the people of Amsterdam, fucking loud, way too dank, way too dank. The people of Amsterdam begin the new year in defiance of their government's ban on protests, with tens of thousands taking to the streets in a massive protest against ongoing lockdowns, vaccine passes, and COVID tyranny, despite a vaccination rate of over 75%. So who the fuck is protesting? This seems massively irresponsible. This is Holland, where all of a sudden, during a peaceful demonstration, bricks are put on the street where there's no work in progress. Amsterdam, the new Portland. We just talked about that. Who's doing this? How is a vaccination rate over 75 relevant to anything? If the vaccination rate for measles and mumps was only over 75, we would have had massive outbreaks. It's funny that American conservatives love to tweet about what goes on in possibly the biggest drug mecca in the world, and then the police turned violent. The demo had been banned by the city's mayor as the organizers had announced that they refused to comply with some basic COVID-19 rules so to prevent it from becoming a super spread event. There were also justifiable police concerns about public safety. But then we see, this is Holland, where the real rioters are people of the riot squads themselves. This is why I stay the fuck away from like other countries of like, cause like you could post this and be like, see, it's the same all over the world. It's not the same. You could reach the same conclusion, but these motherfuckers mean something way different. And then he retorts back to, gotta post something to get the libs mad. If dozens of people are sitting, eating, and talking with no masks, but you mandate people wear masks when walking to enter or leave while not talking, you're a fucking idiot. It's crazy how you keep repeating that point and not providing a solution. I gave a solution. Rapid testing. Or have restaurants limit their capacity like we were doing to avoid that and just less people go to restaurants. We tried to solve that with outdoor dining, but now that it's cold, that's not... But can I ask y'all a question? This is going to be a mean question. Because I've went so deep into this that I feel like I'm losing the plot, but I'm not. I know, like, I'm doing a good thing here because the deeper I go, the more you see how dangerous this gets. I haven't been made into an SPC at this point. Points to anyone who gets that rabbit. Hey, I caught that. Hey, that was a good one. Yeah, there's kind of multiple things you can be doing in life. You can evolve good policy positions. You can get better at organizing and implementing those. And you can improve the ability to talk to people and bring them around your side. Exactly why we're here. Literally, why do I call myself the paradigm shift? Because I'm trying to shift your way of thinking. Hey, we can say not all conservatives are bad, but the ideology of conservatism doesn't broke way. Like, yeah, there you go. Both sides is a great way to focus on the surface level signifies and lower the underlying goals, but in the realm, yeah. You get it. Yeah, I know you get it. Yeah, I like what you're saying. What was I saying? Fuck, I just lost it. Got to go back to the other screen to get it. Oh, oh yeah, now I remember. Do you see, like, is it bad for me to say I just want to fold him? Like, I'm gonna fold him like an omelet. Because at this point, you've typed so much into the space that you are toxic by default. You are not giving me solutions. You are not giving me actual problems. You're just ranting because you want to be the next Alex Jones. I.e., if your account gets banned, I could give less of a shit. Because you're not even, like, advocating for anything. You're just agitating. You're Andy No. Me and my family don't eat nearby one another. I even go into the kitchen when no one else is there. Which, for some people, would be like, that's too much. How did I give my dad COVID? Because I didn't even follow that chatter right there. I didn't think I had COVID. I thought I was fine. I'm not going to pass it to you. He immediately got sick, like hours later. If I would have followed that and kept myself in for a couple of days, my dad wouldn't have had to go through that terrible sickness and I wouldn't have had to take care of him. And we would have been fine. We got it on Christmas, the week of Christmas. Couldn't even enjoy Christmas because of that. But Tim Pool said in an earlier tweet, cancel your Christmases now. Maybe I should have. Real world example. But that's an anecdote. Like, it's not all 50 states are in the red right now. Come. Every time I get too pissed off to speak, I'm just going into a different language. I can speak Japanese, but then the Japanese people are gonna be like, "But you're saying these verbs wrong," and it's like, "But they don't know." Let me have it. The group that I was talking about, Unity Project, was my attempt at rebranding of BLM so that the white people share the same views as BLM but felt uncomfortable joining because they felt like they wanted to be hated by the people they are trying to support. I wanted to sound more inclusive. I plan on bringing people to support BLM. I want to make sure that we are still able to tackle issues that matter. Yes, I understand that. I wouldn't go too deep into the idea of echoing, rebranding BLM because people get like nervous about that, but I see where you're going and I like that. I like that. My man, yes, sir. We are still here. We are still here. What the fuck is going on with it? And she gonna tell me again, turn off your fucking notifications, dickhead. I know she's about to say it. Just got home from work, had to stop back. Hey, welcome through, welcome through. We're finishing up our dissertation on one of the biggest dumbasses on the internet. Like, how you got a bald head like him, but you ain't got none of the charisma is beyond me, bro. Like, I would gladly give him this much like attention, just off the sake that it's two people with bald heads. You should never threat. Oh, Human, we love Human. Human is a good person. Human is a good person. Human is a good person. You should never threaten your partner with divorce unless you are prepared to go through with it. National divorce will lead to civil war 100%. Whoa, I don't know. 9 out of 10 of poorest states on welfare are red. What do you think would happen when they started starving when money is cut off? She didn't threaten national divorce. Oh. This is the thing that got her banned, the national divorce argument. Yeah. She didn't threaten national divorce. She gave an opinion on what could happen in the event of one. That's not true. She threatened national divorce. It's descriptive, not prescriptive. Secondly, for people who squawk an awful lot about not wanting a divorce, banning people like Rep from Twitter is paving the way for one. If you get banned off Twitter and you want civil war, touch grass. That's it. Simple. And he retweeted that, as if that doesn't further the discourse. Australia just reported record high cases, the equivalent of 425,000 cases in the U.S. with mass mandates, vaccine passports, one of the world's highest vaccination rates, and forced quarantine camps. But I really think we can end the pandemic if we just did what Australia did. Hey, let's look at the graph that he posted that I'm sure is out of context. Lockdown, low number. It stayed low for months. What happened here? Where are the lockdowns here? Did they open everything up and then Omicron swept through? I wonder if anybody pointed out. Do catch up. Lockdown is mostly ended. Countries open, which is why cases are soaring, but hospitalization and deaths are low because of high vaccination. But hey, I know the U.S. is the point elsewhere, being embarrassed by its horrendous record. Thank you. Lowering spread of Omicron to imaginable rate to try to stop the overloading of the health system as primary goal. You don't have to prepare for grasp finer details. Boom, bang you. Thank you. Look at that. Some people do say it, but he retweets it, which attracts these people. These stories are important and must be worth sharing. When Democrats advocate for stricter lockdowns and controls but refuse to live by it, people can see it's all political theater. Oh, we already fucking dragged, they dragged that AOC thing way too far. You can watch Hassan's thing on that if you want to go into the AOC thing. They all want feet pics, simple as that. Now we're getting closer to the day. I do think it's important to note that we are well past the recruitment phase, though. I don't think you're convincing anyone in the cult at this point to quit and join your tribe. Now it's just a matter of escalation and de-escalation. He's the one making it about civil war, the same way he made January 6th about civil war, and the same way he made the election about cold civil war. We already watched High Progressive and other people make memes about that shit. Considering how tribalism plays out, I'd wager on dramatic escalation. That's you saying that. Nobody else is pushing you to say that. I'm saying this vaccine mandate's not enough. It's time NYC, Chicago, Boston, DC, LA, Philly all implement anti-fat mandates. If you're fat, you can't enter public accommodations. He's trolling. It's trolling. Whenever I see an ad on Twitter, I block the company that posted it, even though you post ads. The dog bite means it's working. People mauled by police dogs, beat with batons, authorized protests against COVID restrictions. The dog bite means it's where I hate you. I hate that you're advocating for police violence. I hate that. First time CDC has the entire U.S. in the red on high COVID. Have we tried wearing 4 masks? People don't even wear one. I just want to fold him like an omelet, bro. Doing well. Miss you. I miss you too. Yeah, I'm always here. MTG touches grass, but only in a multi-rep CrossFit way. I still can't believe she posted that shit. I still can't believe she thought she was doing something. I still can't believe she thought she was douche. I can't believe, like, and at this point, it's like, if somebody were to watch this entire video on YouTube, which they will, and then they say something along the lines of, well, but you only looked at his Twitter. You never paid attention to his YouTube. What the fuck do you think he's talking about on there? This is why I repeat to you over and over again. I do not stream. I do not open my mouth. I do not get on panels. I do not talk to anyone unless I know what I'm talking about. Because I refuse to look dumb. Like, I remember having an imaginary debate where I was worrying about like other counterpoints. Because I do that sometimes. I talk to myself. I've told you guys that many a times. And I said to myself, it would just be very easy for me to say at one point, I do not know enough about that to have an informed opinion. I will take the time out after this conversation to look that up and give you a response. And I just could watch like the right wingers get stunned hearing that. Like, oh, you're not going to push back? I mean, no. If I were to give you false information, that would make me look dumb and make you look right. You might be correct about these things, but I can't validate that, nor would I want to devalidate the idea of you having one correct point out of all the bullshit you said, because I don't know enough. So I just don't know enough to say that, and I will learn more as time goes on. How easy that could be. How easy that could be. Twitter Tim is right wing, but YouTube Twitter. And people say that. People say that. And I don't get that. Because, like, have you watched his shit? Like, I've watched his shit. And I'm sitting there like, but you just said the other thing. So how are you saying this thing? That is crazy bugging. Crazy bugging. Why are Democrats putting in higher numbers than Republicans? Because they want to work more behind the scenes to elect better people. It's a setup. Because they realize that there is no safe spaces when you have to publicly speak, and they might actually have to answer hard questions without teleprompter. Democrats are not just the president. When you are on live television, you speak from a teleprompter, because why would I want to memorize that shit? But you motherfuckers bring up MLK, and that motherfucker was reading off a paper. I hate it here. Just one. I'm begging you. I feel like I said this at the beginning of my career on Twitch when I started making videos on Facebook almost 2 years ago. I said out loud, if you could just come up with one consistent thread, I would be a Republican in an instant. You motherfuckers have not one consistent thread of thought. You literally flip-flop so hard on all your positions that I'm wondering how your party still exists as a thing. This is why I say, and this is the biggest conclusion I'm going to make about no, I'm not gonna say that right now, because that's putting the chicken before the whatever. Twitter wasn't fun because you talk to your friends, and one, because it's the first place where you can debate your adversaries. You can tell a random celebrity to fuck off, and he'll actually see it and get pissed off and maybe reply. Nothing like it ever. Yeah, that was true. That was literally what Twitter started as. Yep, because the first thing that happened on Twitter, I've been here. Motherfuckers think I have like I don't know what I'm talking about. I was here in 2009. All right. When was Twitter founded? I think we talked about it as 2006. Yeah, 2006. I was here when it started. It was literally drama central. Drama central. That's all it was about here. Yo, you ain't see what he posted on Twitter? That Drake went wild, yo. The right generally just likes to challenge the left. The left generally just likes confirmation bias. Thus, the left would love an echo chamber.
Shut the fuck up!
Thank you for telling me to shut the fuck up. Copy. You do the same. Thank you for the follow. Thus, the left would love an echo chamber and the right wouldn't. How far into this dissertation do I have to go before I prove that Tim Pool is a tool? How far? And we're going further. Now, at this point, it's been about 1 hour and 10 minutes, and you might say, Paradigm, stop, he's already dead. No, this virus will continue to bleed. There will be another Tim Pool. There will be another, like, no. He getting all these bars. You're getting all this work. He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. I'm gonna loaded Lux him to death. He gonna get this work. Yeah, I know, boss. I know. Should have kept the book. Should have kept the pictures up. Get woke, go broke. The article dances around the issue that just calls it not finding its audience and that nothing worked. Yeah, because its regular people didn't care for down with whiteness as an editorial principle. I don't know what the fuck. All the scientists agree. Here's a scientist that doesn't. Censored. All the scientists agree. It's like Don't Look Up exists as a film, and then you promote the people in that film that were like the scientists that were skirting around the obvious evidence for money. And then when he screams, scientists like me that literally broke the discovery, you silent like how do these movies exist? Why is it that when I'm on Tim Pool's page, you might like Jordan Peterson, the Babylon Bee, and Mark Dice? Like, you even associated with that. Man, we're going deeper. We're going deeper. At what point is it not cold civil war? Thank you. I won. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I win. I win. I win. You know why I win? What time did he post that? What time is this video posted? November 26, 2021, January 3rd. How is he not aggravating the culture further? Oh, but Tim Pool is just one man. He doesn't have pull like that. Okay, put it in reference to all small creators. I could take every small creator that gets less than 100 people in their channel. I could get less than that. I could take everybody who's less than that and combine us all, and we still wouldn't have that much pull. And there are thousands of creators sitting under that threshold. So please tell me how this is not him literally agitating towards a civil war of any kind. But I'm the bad guy when I point this out to you in such a specific and obvious way that it makes it look like I'm attacking him. I'm not debating him on the marketplace of ideals. You are encroaching on my livelihood. You are threatening me with the identity of calling this out. So now I have to defend the idea that if you actually went outside, none of that shit is happening. And then all of your little followers come into my chat and coming on my, how dare you talk about Tim Pool? You're just jealous because you don't have the pull of him. No, I'm talking about real people who got food stamps and are happy about that. So they don't give a shit about how the Biden administration is fucking up because something happened for the little guy. And all of us are the little people, and you're sitting there talking about you want to fight against the establishment, and you end up giving the establishment more power, and then you accuse the left of giving the establishment more power, so we're both sucking off the establishment's dick? I'm confused. Why I can't inject a little realism into your little debate bro online circle. Oh, you forgot that real people exist is what the problem is. So when you say shit like that out loud, you're allowed to keep it and encapsulate it in your little bubble, your little dick sucking bubble. Yeah, I did the motion. I don't give a shit. Your little dick sucking bubble. And then when I tell you, like, normal people think you're an idiot, you think you're in the majority. Thank you for the follows, guys. It sounds like some beta behavior to me, being able to reevaluate your positions. I square up with, you know what? I'm gonna clap you for 10 minutes. How about you sit and think about your bad language? Don't nobody clap them. This is a joke. They have no policy it could hold. Two's totally grift. Even if you, Even if you just reverse left and right in that statement, it's incredibly smooth brain. Exactly. Beanie brain. 1 or 2 cents. It couldn't be because of misinformation and inaccuracy. It's all over his YouTube channel. Civil War. Yeah. So this video hopes to aim to explain to people why you can listen to him, but everything needs to have a level of skepticism. And you know what you call it when you dive deeper into a subject to the point where you understand it full from both the 101 understanding to the 401 master understanding? A dissertation. Yes, sir. We're going to keep going, though. We have to keep going because it's so good at this point. At what point is it not cold civil war? I didn't even read it. That's how aggravated I was. I didn't even read it. He's saying, at what point is it not cold? After people seize several city blocks with rifles and shoot up cars, after someone gets shot twice in the chest and dies, after a group shuts down the electoral vote counting process, when do we call it hot? That's your group. Didn't you literally downplay January 6th? Maybe Trump was right. Maybe I should have just drank bleach. Maybe Trump was right. I should have just injected bleach maybe he was right. Maybe Trump was right. Because this planet's not for me, bro. If my dad wasn't here, I'd have quit long time ago. It's like, not literally quit, but like, I wouldn't give a damn about any of this, yo. Oh my god. And then this sinks into Facebook into the deep ends with those really weird pages that make those terrible memes that show up on WhatsApp. Ah, pain. Am I gonna watch this 4 minute and 29 video? No, I've already done enough. This is not a war over the size of government or taxes, but over the American way of life. Yeah, dead. Happening this week. Join us Wednesday, January 5th at 2 p.m. for a special edition of Citizen CNN Lessons from the Insurrection. Where are we now? Okay, dope. If CNN tells you that there was an insurrection, if the conflict that triggered it is ongoing, if people are still fighting, if people have been killed, you best start believing a civil war is possible. You're in one. Real time dissertations mean I didn't see that coming. So I was right. I explained my reasons and gave you citations as to why I was correct. And then he confirms that biasy. I wonder. That tweet got deleted.
Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person to person, spreading and spreading, sickening some of them, but not all of them. And the ones that it doesn't sicken don't know they have it. And then they give it to even more people because they didn't recognize they were, right? Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person, potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way, now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
That's not true. That's not true either. Yeah, but I was gonna say when was that posted? Just interested when the date of the original broadcast was and what the full topic discussion was. If you can't provide both so people can access to see themselves, you're providing misinformation and should be banned from Twitter. I didn't say that. It is literally kicking off medical experts who work directly on mRNA vaccines before exposing the truth about these vaccines. Tell you everything. He's talking about Stella Emanuel. Fuck off. Okay, I would really love to know when that was. I'm pretty sure that was in 2020. Oh, look. And new information comes out and news anchors don't know how to handle it. Who would have seen that coming? Oh my god, I can't wait to finish this segment so I can get the other cup of iced coffee. You thought I forgot about the iced coffee guys, didn't you? Why is this not the most poppin' stream ever? Like, I'm literally giving you the keys to the kingdom. Like, y'all want to learn about some shit? Y'all want to talk about social issues, mental health issues? Y'all want to? We just had a conversation on like how boys are grown up to like always want to fuck instead of like valuing women for what they're worth. Like, we could get into some shit. Do you think these people at the Onion look back on what they've done? Fuck off. Breaking: politics for all, news for all, football for all suspended, and ideological novices thought this would stop at Trump. Never in the history of censorship ever stopped with your enemies, and it won't stop here. Mark my words. Y'all ready to debunk that entire censorship argument? Doing that whole hour-long debate on the Hippy Dippy podcast with one Google search? Are you guys ready? It's still the Tim Pool dissertation, but watch this. Watch this. Oh, caps. Okay. Japan, how many people use Twitter in 2022? Twitter has 396.5 million users. 77.2% of internet access users access Twitter at least once per month. 96% of Twitter users access the platform at least monthly. So censorship is not a thing if 3 accounts get banned, but 395 million accounts are still up. Okay, got it. This proves it. I don't know what that's about. That's probably blockchain shit. No, that's I know this. I know this. This is a Banksy thing, right? Anyway, Krispy Kreme is bad for you and makes COVID worse. Die. He's talking about the 93% of Texans are fully staged under one disaster where citizens are now conditions to be except for another. Repealing the mask mandate now endangers so many people, especially essential folks in AMC pays COVID lip service. Maskless squad leader gets huge kiss from Broadway star Billy Porter. Attacks Miami drag bar. Border cases spike 940%. She probably already had it. Without a face mask together with that. Dumb people. Dumb people. That's it. She just do whatever the fuck she wants. Banning scientists who dissonant as the opposite of the science. You reposted that. Shut up. Bobby Rush is the 24th Democrat to announce he's not seeking re-election. Weird. Cause like we know, like they. This is what 10:04 p.m. on a Saturday night looks like in country. Let me debunk this. Flood their call centers with phony reports using anonymous phone numbers. Yeah, just ruin the police from solving domestic crimes, even though they're probably just going to go in and shoot everybody. Cinema closures UK wide. The movies theaters have no listings is my favorite conspiracy yet. The best conspiracy isn't that it's proof of government shutdowns. If big movies colluding with governments internationally, shut up, please. LOL Germany. Police beat a person reportedly a woman following the arrest at a protest against COVID restrictions in Berlin last night. A curtain is pulled forward to before.
Yo, what the fuck?
I don't know what's going on there, but Black Lives Matter faced it worse. Sorry, if we're gonna do straw men's, we're gonna do straw men's. If the Republicans win back the House, we'll be living in a permanent January 6th. Our children will live on January 6th forever. It'll be like Trump is in your house room. Argues a significant Republican win in 2020 when 2020 is going to see this illegitimate and potentially a consequential crisis. Says it was deeply worrying. I just want you to think about how Twitter gave me a blue check and not you. Think about that when you ignore January 6th. Okay. My girlfriend keeps trying to get me to go hiking, but no matter how many times I explain that hiking is racist, she won't listen. Sierra Club, the unbearable whiteness of hiking and how to solve it. That's true, but that was 2016. Bad things happen in the woods, the anxiety of hiking while black. Literally true. Girl got lost in the woods after a hiking trip and made national news. Hiking, outdoor recreation is the story, including people of color. That's beginning to change. Literally true. 7-day averages getting higher. Why aren't we just giving people 5 doses at once? Clearly giving vaccines this slowly is not enough. Has nothing to do with the vaccines. We covered that already. What a joke McDonald's is. You have to show your green pass.
Fashion mall. And here's what happens. When you want to place your order on this screen over here, the way it works is like this. You click English. And now it says, in order to proceed with the order, you must confirm that you have a valid green certificate. It's of your own. So let's screen. It's a basic green pass.
What's a green pass? Yeah, what the hell is a green pass? Can somebody explain it? It's the opposite of the yellow armband. Instead of making the bad people worse, I'm gonna make the good people. It's the Israeli vaccine certificate. If you have one, she'll let you touch her hair. What the fuck? Weirdos! Let's look that up. Let's do some research. Who is eligible for a green pass and what's its validity? Vaccinated persons. Those who receive 2 doses pass says today. Those who receive 3 doses. Those who receive only 1 dose. Temporary, which will be valid for 30 days. Please note the temporary green pass is invalid in case of exposure to a confirmed patient. Does not grant exemptions from isolation. Recovered persons. Holders of a certificate recovery with a positive C. Those recovered once or twice and have not been vaccinated. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. You can get COVID, not be vaccinated, and still get the pass. So literally, it's do your own thing. I haven't seen the full clip, but it sounds like an argument probably oversimplified on how you achieve herd immunity through vaccination. I'm willing to assume Rachel Maddow is a knowingly represent. Yeah, no, that's definitely it. That's why I remember that clip. That was it. Yeah, you said the right thing. That was it. That was it. That was actually it. And it was our idea that we were going to, that was during the time where we thought if everybody gets the vaccine, it would just stop mutating. And she's trying to say stop mutating. It stops there with the person. But I clipped out of context the same way they clipped the CDC director out of context at the beginning of our or at the end of our Elon Musk segment. Okay, let's keep going. I heard I said hard lockdowns were coming back, but some people said I was crazy, but hard lockdowns are already here. That's not in our country. These people think they're going to die from COVID, so of course they call 911. More strain on it. Too many people calling 911 and going to ER with only mild COVID symptoms or just wanting a test. FDNY is putting in, do not seek emergency care unless you face a true emergency. These people think they're going to die of COVID, so of course they call 911. Yeah, keep going. Mark Levine is an idiot too. Keep going. Humans must be prepared. What agreed? And he just reposted it, and I debunked it. I debunked everything Tim Pool has posted in the last couple years, bro. I remember when The Onion was funny. NASA scientists confirm Earth is dating the moon. That's fucking funny. Democrats and corporation press scream insurrection. They say never forget January 6th. Pollsters say Republicans will win the midterms. So who are these voters in majority numbers vote for insurrection? MAGAs. Really, and we could talk about gerrymandering. The real reason women can't open pickle jars is that patriarchy is convinced them they lack grip strength. I was the guy who staged a military coup and insurrection polling better than Joe Biden, the guy who valiantly fought off the end of democracy. Biden begins 25% of Donald Trump with just 41% of voters backing him as the run-up to the midterms begin. That got taken off. Who the fuck set up fake COVID? The Biden's pop-up tests that were often accused said to say claim they were funded by FEMA. Over the weekend, it was confirmed these sites were not funded by FEMA. The city's last relatives pop up to avoid them and call the health department. The health department says test findings. Stop testing, and in a week, the nonsense will end. You think the city, as well as state and federal government, amp up test availability in order to prevent this from happening? Because the only ones suffering are those with inadequate access to tests in the first place. Thank you. Please tell us more about your expertise in nationwide medical resourcing and logistics. Imagine that person had one, but see? You can be a right-winger and actually be mad about real things. It's supposed to be us fighting the establishment, and somehow you suck the establishment's dick. Like, I'm really, really, really getting tight here. Ted Cruz says GOP will impeach Biden whether it's justified or not. Okay, whatever. Perfect example of the left. Random Twitter accounts. Glenn Youngkin, hundreds of on average. Does the governor? Where's that proof? Virginia was a governor. Youngkin ain't governor yet. Still the other guy. Thank goodness Governor Northern's put together. I don't. Not enough U-Haul trucks for fleeting Californians in 2021. Okay. As things open up, people move back to where they want to. When they make more money off the unemployment that they scamped. It takes 8 seconds to have a brain. You think this is hurting me? I'm paradigm is being fueled by this shit. I'm pretty sure this segment is going on for an hour and a half now. I'm still going. It seems like the Green Pass is a method to easily verify your vaccination immunity state, so I assume the complaint is that it's somehow dystopian. There you go. It's hurting me. But to argue against a very low effort manner of verifying you're at a much lower chance of spreading virus isn't actually arguing that your right to being removed. It's arguing that you have some inborn right to make other people sick, and that's being taken away. Yo, you on this shit today. Thank you for coming to the stream. You on this shit today. We fucking with you. You on this shit today. Keep spitting. Okay. See, my chat can figure this out. They're just here to chat, and they're smarter than Tim Pool. But Tim Pool got the reach of like millions. CNN has told its audience don't look up several times. It's funny. Literally did not happen. Happened. You made segments on that not happening. Why? Why? Just why? Why? By and large, the people who voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020 don't care about an insurrection. They care that he, honest to God, tried to overturn an election. They don't believe it was an insurrection. And that support is 5% higher than Biden's support. I wonder why. Let's go a little bit further up. Apparently, 1/6 was a deadly insurrection, but these were mostly peaceful protests. If you give people 6 months to do something in one day, if you compare them all, I could say they were mostly peaceful. 93%, wasn't it? Oh my God. Today is Freedom Day, where we mourn the lives lost during the violent and deadly George Floyd riots, the same way we mourn the deaths of the people who were caught in the crossfire during the civil rights era. Like after MLK's death, there were massive violent riots across everywhere, and LBJ had no choice but to pass the Civil Rights Act. But if you're not debate bro enough in order to figure that out, you might sound like I'm acting all performative, and I'm not citing my sources. Even though, if you literally, I have a father, a living human being in my house who was alive when Martin Luther King died. Like, give me enough time to explain to you that that wasn't the past. That was like a couple days ago. Just in, double vaccinated, boosted, and now fourth vaccination. Despite this COVID case in Israel, new cases. Remember when they used to say, oh, you're talking about the cases spiking, but you're not talking about how many people are dying. Now they're not talking about how many people are dying. Just one common thread. Give me one thread. Give me one thread, and I will hang myself by it. I heard what I said. This means it's working. Australia's done. New lockdown only for unvaxxed. Yeah, you did everything the machine told you. It didn't work the way they promised. I've done everything I was supposed to do. You did everything the machine told you, and it didn't work the way they promised. If Whoopi Goldberg doesn't die, then the machine was correct. See how many times you just repost the same shit in a different format and then get mad at people for pointing that out. Video of the insurrection of the White House last summer. Likely worst attack since 1812 and appears to be more mayhem than January 6th. I'm not aware of a hunt by the feds for us. Never forget, January 6th, also known as Freedom Day, with the 100-day siege on the U.S. from the White House. The federal Christmas does lost it. Shut up. LOL, you can't even leave your home to go to work if you're unvaccinated. Remember, Quillette said this was a conspiracy theory. Quillette better solve it out, but just put fart nose instead of garbage. Saying. I think the oven is just giving up. Man who's about to cry bursts out of crowded room like he's transforming into a werewolf. Nah, that's funny though. That's funny though. I would retweet that shit. That's funny though. As a matter of fact, it is. It's a 2019 article, and these motherfuckers are saying the onion is just giving up. Die! You are posting. We have gone through an hour and a half, almost 2 hours of this, and he has just spent the entire last 2.5 weeks lying, and you can extrapolate that to mean he's probably been lying the entirety of his career. Lead story on Fox's morning show today, all 3 hours. COVID, Biden administered maskless liberal lawmaker, Chicago schools lead story on all the major morning shows. 1/6 anniversary. Brian Soder's whole job is telling people don't look up. He's mad that the network isn't telling the establishment narrative. If the media apparatus demands all networks report the same story, you're in a cult. Meanwhile, conservatives yelling, debate me at the left. And we just broke that down. You can't blame the Dems for making a big deal out of January 6th. Oh, Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is a fucking tool as well. They're using the ammunition they've been given. This is what Dems do. It's smart politics. Instead, blame the hapless Republicans for refusing to do the same thing with the BLM riots. And we had an hour-long debate on that. Conservatives have really followed the left. Media says the narrative discussing it. How about the right not engage at all with the insane 1/6 narrative and commemorate Freedom Day, a day of mourning for all the lives lost to the George Floyd riots? You see, is it wrong for me to assume he's racist? Can you see how I can make that declaration without citing my sources because my source is him? 80% of independent media is focused on whatever news and narrative corporate media focuses on, and half the cons accept the narratives but just disagree on the Dems' reaction to it. That's not true either. If you want to play the insurrection game, you need to admit that more Americans support Trump's insurrection than Joe Biden as president. And if election were held today, Trump would win. Because once you put somebody in power and they're not doing anything, Democrats feel, I just want to punch him in his fucking face. Holy shit, you are spinning that. We are in a new civil war. He's posting again about it. Phoebe Harris begins with January 6th remarks by comparing the date to others that occupy not only a place in our calendars, but in our place in our collective memory. December 7th, September 11th. Imagine voting for this, but it's true. We will definitely remember the fact that we've had 2 insurrections in this country that were started by white people who were angry about all the dumb shit that black people were being able to do. That's why they relate it to slavery and segregation based on vaccination status and medical shit. Because they do that. That's what they do. That's what white people are programmed to do in this country. Not all white people. Not all white people are bad. We're never making that assumption. We don't blanket statement. The people who believe in this and follow this guy are the same people who were probably angry when Lincoln was like, no more slaves. Like, I'm sorry. Post the rest of the page, Tim. Post the rest of the page. Freems had good things. I kind of expected some other folks I noticed stop by. I think you got a good followers when watching the debate. Freems had good things to say as well. Hey, Freems. Oh my God, Freems. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Post the rest of the page, Tim. Fox already moved on from the Biden speech talking about the CDC vaccine flight cancellation. Oliver, what can you do to make sure all media outlets have the same perspective and report in lockstep with each other? I don't know. Stop downplaying when citizens to themselves the same way Fox still hasn't let go of the BLM riots that you also keep bringing up. It's like they ask for things that they're doing and then get mad when we point out that you're doing that. Cook County is under a vaccine mandate. That's massive and fucking insane. Okay, thanks for posting NBC. Chicago, the approved vaccine will apply to everyone 5 and older, and that includes restaurants, bars, gyms, and other venues like sports and entertainment areas. The rules don't apply to those inside venues for less than 10 minutes. Oh, we already talked about. Oh, matter of fact, no, you know what? You did ask. Well, somebody did ask. Well, where the fuck did the article go? Do I need to reload it? Do they just do that if you navigate away? You did ask, well, what does it apply to then? Well, let's find out. Indoor dining, indoor fitness, indoor entertainment and recreation venues where food or beverages are served. Places not included, house of worship, grocery stores, locations in airports, locations in a residential office building where it is limited to residents, owners, or tenants. Food service establishments providing only charitable food services, such as soup kitchens, schools, and daycares. Exemptions. Individuals entering establishment, a non-resident performing artist who does not regularly or a covered location, so touring people, a non-resident professional athlete and who enters a covered location as part of their regular employment for purposes of the professional athlete sports team competition, individuals previously received the medical or religious exemption, an individual 18 years and younger who enters a covered location to participate in an activity organized by a school or after-school program offered by any pre-kindergarten through grade 12 public or non, i.e. what I do with after-school teaching, an individual who enters for the purpose of voting in a municipal, state, or federal election or pursuant to law assisting. So it's not a vaccine mandate. So this entirety of this entire time, you have been lying. And then you post the link as if it doesn't. The word insurrection has not been uttered once during coverage of 1-6 on Fox this morning, other than Biden using it during his speech, which the network aired per search of shows credit. That's because insurrection is a political term used by Democrats and the corporate media to try to falsely slander every Trump voter across America. Oh. So you admit that it wasn't Antifa? You admit... But you were the Ted. You were the one who started spinning the narrative with that other guy that it was Antifa. Was it Josh Hawley? It was one of them people, or I know definitely Marjorie Taylor Greene was in on it. Holy fuck! And terrorist attack is a political term used by you. Is he shitting on Ted Cruz? What the fuck is this? Weirdos. He reposted again. Okay, so he talks about January 6th on the day Cheney arrived at Moment Size, where the father, Dick Cheney, former vice president, one-time member of the House GOP of the Moment Size. Both Cheneys were greeted at handshakes by nearly every Democrat in the chamber, including hugs and warm word for legislative Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I still can't believe we're rubbing them off because we think the insurrection wasn't that. We think the insurrection was bad and that Trump was but like you're still a Republican who still sits on the other side of the aisle and doesn't break the filibuster Senate tie by voting in the other direction with a simple majority. And if you were to swing that simple majority over to 52-48, you wouldn't need the VP. Like, see what I mean? Like, even then, I can hate people who do good things because you're not doing all the good things. And that sounds reductionist of me, but at the same time, I'm making that argument because, hello, that's the world we live in. It sucks. I hate it here. Charlie Kirk said racism doesn't exist. I'm gonna get to Charlie one day. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna do a whole. I'm gonna break down every major conservative platform host creator until I get down to the bottom of what their actual process is, what their actual problem is. Moderna CEO says people may need fourth COVID shot as efficacy of boosters likely to decline. Duh, like the flu vaccine. 15 shots all at once. Died him. Don't do this. Don't do this. Project Stand Together is compiling a directive of NYC businesses not complying with the mandate requiring proof of vaccination for service. I feel like that's not true.
I just cold called businesses in New York City for 8 hours straight, asking them if they are checking for proof of vax. Almost all of them said they were, but after telling them about Project Stand Together and our directory, some of them actually said they would no longer comply with the mandates. See, at Project Stand Together, we're building a directory of businesses who are not complying so unvaccinated people can find pro-freedom businesses to go to, and we are going to be paying for the fines that businesses might get for letting unvaccinated people eat at their restaurant.
Paradigm moment incoming. Please lower your volume if you're not ready for this. So if you're compiling a list of businesses so people can support pro-freedom businesses, wouldn't that mean that the unvaccinated will eventually spread the Omicron and kill them even further? And if any of them wanted the vaccine, they wouldn't be able to, so the vaccinated and unvaccinated can go to the same place. And then the thing that Tim Pool brought up is but then that would mean you're subverting the vax mandate. So I was right. But I was right and Tim Pool was wrong? Wait, hold on. Wait, go deeper. If you're able to do this and no one's stopping you, no one's censoring you, you're getting retweeted, your project exists, doesn't that mean censorship doesn't exist? And you have the ability to do what you want? So you gain freedom? So the vaccine mandates aren't mandates at all if they don't have to follow them? But then that destroys the argument of tyranny and fascism existing in America through vax mandates and government control. And if this is in my city, one of the largest transportation hubs in the country, doesn't that mean we're effectively redoing how we started the pandemic in the first place? And if the only people going to these places are the unvaxxed, can't I make the conclusion that the unvaxxed are causing the worsening of the pandemic? It took me an hour and 48 minutes to reach that conclusion, and we're still fucking going. Don't worry. We only got like 5 minutes left. I know I've been on this topic stumlocked forever, but don't worry. So don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, this is when he got swatted. I'm not covering this. I wish him well. I hope he's okay. Someone called police and said they shot and killed 2 people. We're going to kill more. Police were told not to enter without a warrant, but they said anyway. This is a large house used on production studio. Many employees on site. I hope he's okay. Like, I don't want like random people. And then like he gets swatted, and the next morning, more COVID misinformation. See, I could feel bad about you. I could feel bad for you. I can wish you well. And then you just eliminate my empathy for you by doing it again. Women were being gaslit by the media for saying this last year. COVID vaccines may briefly change your menstrual cycle, but you still get one. Women were being gaslit by the media for saying this last year, but go off. Remember when this was a conspiracy theory? Literally no one said that. The studies were actually showing that it changes. Remember when people were saying that they were having miscarriages because of the vaccine, and then we found out that that was 6 out of like 8 million women? Like, I'm dying. I'm dying for you. I'm dying for you to understand how vaccines work. The flu vaccine can change your menstrual cycle. For my women out there, for my ladies, getting good dick can change your menstrual cycle. Like, it really, really. Nursing homes will have to accept COVID positive admissions from hospitals, according to this will be a death sentence. Oh, I'm glad y'all figuring that out. Breaking. Moderna CEO says forced vaccine dose could be needed in fall. Can I get a contract with the government that forces people to buy my stuff too? And before, but the vaccine is free. Agreed. I'll settle with the government paying me for my stuff and forcing you to have to eat it at a diner. Well then, yeah, cyber ninjas. Yo, imagine saying the election was stolen. The United States election was stolen, and then hiring a team of people called cyber ninjas. We are living in like it's 1984. George Orville Redenbacher all over again. It's 1984. George Orville Redenbacher popping all his bullshit. The cops knew we were being swatted and decided to enter my property under exigent circumstances anyway. I'm calling bullshit. Interesting. Okay, so now we're getting further. We know what he's saying. It's just more bullshit because he has less to talk about. Less to talk about. No evidence. Video color was manipulated in a CNN news segment. Mass formation psychosis and unfounded theory spreading online suggests many people have been hypnotized and believing mainstream ideas to combat COVID-19. Man who purchased gun for Rittenhouse takes plea deal. Small fine paid for buying a media narrative now destroyed completely. What media? Welcome to and then he says that there are only two sexes and it. Okay, 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 okay. This is the future feminists want: women serving their men.
Exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission. So if you're going home to somebody who has not been vaccinated, to somebody who can't get vaccinated, somebody who might be immunosuppressed or a little bit frail, somebody who has comorbidities that put them at high risk, I would suggest you wear a mask in public indoors.
As we've been saying. This destroys any rationale for vaccine mandates or passports. It's over. Only remaining justification would be super general, disproportionately overtax the health system, which logic nobody believes or applies for us. Also, we need to have BMI passports first. And we just spent 2 hours talking about how that's wrong. We just spent 2 hours talking about they're getting themselves worked up and not even reading it. Well, and then this is when Jack, if you want to see how people respond to a fact check over something that's seemingly trivial, read the thousands of comments on this. There's a massive collective to bolster false beliefs. Right now, there's no evidence whatsoever. COVID-19 pandemic response. Please post the article, dickhead. When was that posted? April 30th, 2020, when people were literally wanting to commit suicide in their homes because they had never faced a lockdown before, and we had no idea how to stop transitioning people into an online world without making them feel isolated or lonely. Remember when alcohol abuse and domestic abuse were going up because people were stuck inside their homes? These things have been answered millions of times already by people way smarter than me, and somehow, some way, this man, Jack Posobiec, I don't know how to say his fucking last name, is still saying this shit. And then the empty shelf shit, I already broke that down. AOC getting COVID is Ron DeSantis' fault. If he forced people to wear masks and get 4 shots, AOC would not have been able to be hugging and pissing people and not get sick. She didn't even mention. She didn't even fucking mention. She didn't even mention Ron DeSantis. She didn't even throw anyone under the bus. She said it's my fault I got COVID. Talks about trans issues. He talks about this. He talks about that. He talks about this. Talks about that. Talks about this. Let's go all the way up to the top. Oh, we made it to the top anyway. Oh, shit. We did it. Is our democracy dying from COVID or with COVID? New York City mayor allows non-citizen voting bill to become, and we talked about this, and that has nothing to do with what he's saying. We should allow people in other countries to vote in U.S. elections. They're not allowing them to express their voices here as racist. That's not what it says, and I hope somebody points that out. That is not true. First says actually more than 800,000 non-citizens can vote in local elections up to New Year. Yep, thank you. Yep, thank you. How do you make sure they're only voting in NYC stuff and not for state or federal items? You don't, because voting ID laws are racist, so they're likely voting already. Okay. I can't believe we made it. I gotta go. Good stream. See y'all in the Discord. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we can finally end it, and I can tell you my conclusion. Tim Pool has been lying for the longest. I have spent 2 hours sitting here debunking every single thing he has fucking said. Now, for many of you on YouTube, you did not make it to the 2-hour mark. I don't hold that against you. But for those of you who subscribe to the Tim Pool model, just know he's full of shit. He's aggravating because he wants a civil war, because he wants to be a leader of some form or kind. He wants to be the next Alex Jones to prove, see, I've always been talking about the right things. The mainstream media didn't want to cover me. That leads right into all the election fraud stuff in the debate. Works nicely. Yeah! See? Intersectionality. When you realize that big players are lying, you can realize, oh, that's why they call it the big lie. Because if you spin one thing, you can spin a lot of things. And that is why I did not like when people said, you spent all that time saying all that stuff and said actually nothing. Like, brother. Like, my brother. The problem is that we covered this for years, or a year, I should say. My bad on the years comment. A year. If at this point you still falling for this propaganda, these terrible ass grifters who just want to make you angry so they can get clicks and prove that they're worth the ad revenue, then you the ones getting with the problem. It's a you problem. And Tim Pool is a tool.